So let me show you what the ChatGPT Sermon Illustrator is supposed to do. Basically, it's going to give me 30 illustrations in 30 seconds without significant prompts. Okay, so I say, I want to preach on Colossians 1. And if you don't give enough info, it'll say, okay, well, here's some themes in that passage. Which one is it you'd like me to illustrate? And the reason for that is because I want it to be very adequate and accurate on making sure it serves you well. So it gives you some topics here, and then let's say, let's go with the mystery of the gospel. That's a tough one, right? A little tougher to illustrate. So let's see what it says. So short, intuitive workflow, and it starts spitting out things. So here's 16 different types of illustrations for this theme. So it starts off with historical stories, so characters from history. And so Augustine, all right, the mystery of the gospel's power to change lives. Wilberforce, his tireless efforts to end the slave trade. Okay, how the mystery of the gospel can inspire social change. All right, quantum mechanics. Okay, so hidden reality beyond our everyday experience. There you go. Okay, the mystery of the gospel. The DNA code. Interesting. All right, cognitive dissonance. Okay, intuitive truths of the gospel. The placebo effect. How the gospel transforms lives. Okay, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't on these analogies. So Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel, intricate detail. Beethoven's Symphony, transition from darkness to light in this. Okay. C.S. Lewis's Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. Okay. Deeper truths about redemption and grace. That's interesting. So the deeper magic from before the dawn of time, right? J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, unexpected heroes and hidden powers in the story. Metaphors, a veiled painting, a hidden treasure. Okay, cool. Poetry, interesting. All right, so John Donne and G.K. Chesterton, the riddles of God are more satisfying than the solutions of man. That's neat. So first century Roman or Greek culture, this is interesting because I had to ask it. It would always give me like positive illustrations from Greek and Roman culture, and I really was looking for contrast, right? Because the gospel and the church contrasted with the culture it was called to reach in many ways. So I asked it to specifically give me every time a contrasting examples from that culture, right? So it was not from positivity. In mystery religions, emperor worship. Now, early Christian symbols. So it gives me Christian versions too. So I get two different contrasting examples from the first century, which is the way I like it. House churches. All right, cool. Biblical parallels, the parables of Jesus. So the mystery behind that, Paul's conversion. Current events, modern day miracles, interesting. Okay, reconciliation movements, the gospel's mysterious power. Fables and parables, folklore, mythology, the phoenix, the tale of the hidden pearl. Okay, practices or facts from cultures around the world. Kintsugi, Japanese. You've seen that, repairing broken pottery with gold. That's interesting. Beauty from brokenness. And African storytelling. Okay, revealing truth through narrative. So the mystery is unveiled over time. Interesting. Underground Railroad, the Manhattan Project from history, the Miracle on Ice, Unexpected Victory, the Unexpected Victory of the Gospel. That's cool. Jackie Robinson illustrates the gospel's mystery of breaking down societal barriers. Okay, that's interesting too. The Jews and the Gentiles, right? The breaking down of those barriers and the mystery of the gospel. Little known or forgotten but inspiring characters. Brother Lawrence, George Mueller. Strange or compelling court cases, the Scopes Monkey trial and the Nuremberg trials. Okay. All right, so would you like any more details on any of these illustrations? Well, let's say, give me more about the miracle on ice. Again, really simple prompts because it is designed to see exactly what you're talking about and then spit out significant information based on really easy workflows. So it gives some context, a little bit of an underdog story here. Okay, the game tells the stories about the game and the victory, and Al Michaels' iconic line, "Do you believe in miracles? Yes!" And the unexpected victory, strength and weakness, okay, and it tries to connect it back to what what the theme of your message is, right? So here's some potential illustrations, and then here's some more information. So it's designed to give you somewhere between 1 and 3 outside sources where you can find more information about this, or you can reference if you wish to do that. So then it says, would you like me to generate an image you can use for your PowerPoint? Sure. Okay, so it's going to try to do this. Now, I'll be honest, image generation from artificial intelligence is still a little bit sketchy, right? It's not always exactly, it's not always exactly the very best, but hey, okay, cool. Soviet Union 4-3. All right, so it's a AI generated. You've obviously got some issues here. Here's the goalie's way over outside the net, and this guy's hockey stick right here doesn't go all the way down. But you get the idea. It's something you could theoretically use. All right, and so you can also ask it to regenerate this and give you a different one, or you can say you can ask it to tweak it. Can you give it to me in a vintage charcoal sketch style? So you can ask it to give, if there's something that fits like the ethos, or the not the ethos, but the feel of your sermon series, or like the graphic work, you can say, hey, can you give it to me in this sort of thing? So if you're using kind of a vintage style, okay, yeah, so you get the idea. Sometimes it is what it is. Not everybody's got it all right. All the image generation is not always correct, but you get the idea. And so the goal is to easily and quickly give you 30 ideas in 30 seconds, along with significant research for you, and an attempt to help you see how it ties together to the theme, and then be able to quickly illustrate if you want to do that with those kind of things. You can also go back and ask it for more. So you can say, tell me more about, let's see, which one shall I pick? How about we go with the Tale of the Hidden Pearl, Japanese Kintsugi, the Manhattan Project. Let's go with tell me more about Brother Lawrence. Okay, so it's going to spit out. Let's see. Oh, it's going to actually just happen to give me the wrong, like 2 different versions here. So let me do this right here. I'm going to say that this one's the better one, and it's going to give me a little bit about his story, and a little bit of stuff from his Practice of the Presence of God book. So constant awareness, simplicity, humility. So they're going to give you details and kind of flesh out all of that for you in such a way that you don't, maybe you get it, you get something that's helpful to you. The other thing that you can do, I'm going to stop and say, can you regenerate all of the illustrations with completely new ones? So it's going to double the number of, so you get twice as many illustrations. All right, so okay, let's see what they come up with this time. Joan of Arc, Dietrich Bonhoeffer, okay. Enigmatic nature of black holes, the double slit experiment. Oh yeah, interesting. Okay. So implicit bias, resilience theory, the Last Supper, Handel's Messiah, Les Miserables, Harry Potter. Yeah, probably not. So metaphors. Sometimes they'll give you one because I can't guard against everything, right? Like, don't give me any Harry Potter illustrations. It's not going to be one of the things that I put in the instructions. So anyways, so 2 new quotes, 2 new things, 2 new biblical parallels, and conversion stories, Chinese legend of the red thread. Okay, that's interesting. Never heard of that. All right. It can illustrate the unseen and mysterious ways God brings people to himself. Okay, tell me more about the Chinese thread. And I even misspelled it. The Chinses. Chinese thread. Okay, so here's a detailed account of the legend. All right, so red thread of fate. So interesting. You know, maybe it's something you want to do. And this will be interesting to see what kind of illustrations, what kind of image it does. I'm going to type yes please in advance because I know it's going to ask me if I want to generate an image. So let's see what let it finish out its imaginative story of that. So it's given, it says here's some resources where you can learn more if you want. All of this, obviously, you can copy and paste into a sermon, or you can use it. And I'll say, yes, please, I'd like you to generate an image that you can use. I programmed it to always ask at the end of the more info section, so it'll always ask you that. And so I'll generate an image, and let's see if it does anything that is the least bit helpful. So, all right. Okay. All right, in a vintage style. All right. So there you go. That's how I brainstorm 30 to 60 sermon illustration ideas every single Sunday, and that is just that's gold right there. If you're stuck and you're like, I just need ideas, just break the boxes for me, help me think of things that I haven't thought of before. That's how you do it. All right. Thanks a lot. Hope you enjoy, and it's as always completely free.